Your brain is doing something right now, and you don't even notice it. You might be sitting still, scrolling, or just listening, but deep inside your mind, tiny alarms are firing that you're not aware of. Have you ever felt stressed for no obvious reason? Maybe your chest tightens, your heart speeds up, or your thoughts scatter like someone turned on 10 radios at once. What's disturbing is that your brain knew this reaction was coming before you did. Scientists found that stress doesn't just change your mood, it quietly rewires how your brain works. And here's the part most people never hear: sometimes your brain creates stress even when your life is perfectly fine. A glitch in your survival system pushes you into danger mode even when there's no real danger. In the next few minutes, you'll discover what stress actually does to your brain, how it changes your memory, your decisions, and even your identity. And the most important part, the part people desperately need to hear, comes closer to the end. Stay with me. It happens in less than half a second. That's how fast your brain can switch into survival mode. You have a tiny structure inside your mind called the amygdala. Think of it like the smoke detector of your brain. The moment it senses even the smallest hint of danger, real or imaginary, it slams the panic button. Picture this: you open your phone and see a message that simply says, "We need to talk." No details. No context. But instantly, your stomach drops. That's your amygdala firing before your conscious mind even catches up. Scientists say this micro-trigger can flood your system with stress hormones, even if nothing is actually wrong. That's why little things sometimes hit you way harder than they should. Your brain is trying to save you, even when there's nothing to be saved from. The real problem is that this survival mode switches on fast, but it doesn't turn off just as easily. And that's where the quiet damage begins. Your brain lies to you when you're stressed, and it's very convincing. The moment your survival system activates, the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic and calm thinking, slows down. Imagine needing strong Wi-Fi but suddenly dropping to 1 bar. That's your brain under stress. This is why you start assuming the worst, misreading someone's tone, or creating entire disaster stories in your head out of one small moment. For example, someone replies with "okay," and your brain instantly fills the silence with the idea that something is wrong. But here's the twist most people don't know: your brain does this on purpose. Expecting danger, even when there is none, helped your ancestors survive. But in modern life, this natural negativity bias destroys your peace. And the scariest part? Stress doesn't just change how you think. It changes what you remember. And that takes us somewhere deeper. This is the part most people never notice. The hormone cortisol, which your body releases during stress, can shrink the hippocampus, the region responsible for memory and learning. That's why you forget simple things when you're overwhelmed, like where you placed your keys or what you were about to say. Imagine trying to save a file on your computer while someone keeps unplugging it. That's what stress does inside your brain. But here's the twist: your brain tries to protect you by remembering stressful moments more strongly than positive ones. It believes the negative memories are more important for survival. So your brain starts collecting reasons why life feels heavy, and this can shape how you view yourself and your future. And this memory shift feeds directly into something even more powerful: your habits. This is where stress controls you without your permission. When your brain is overwhelmed, it shifts from thoughtful choices to automatic habits. That's why on stressful days, you scroll endlessly, eat junk food, or procrastinate. It's not because you're weak. It's because your brain is looking for fast relief. Picture a long day ending, and suddenly you crave something sweet or comforting. That craving is your brain asking for a quick dopamine hit. And here's the surprising part: these stress-based habits can form after as little as 3 repeated stressful moments. So the more overwhelmed you feel, the more your brain pushes you toward quick comfort. And those habits don't just stay habits, they turn into loops. Stress has a hidden second phase, one that most people never see. You think stress ends when the stressful moment ends. But the amygdala can stay on high alert for hours, sometimes even days. This creates a loop. Stress leads to bad feelings lead to bad habits, and those habits lead to more stress. For example, you feel stressed, so you overthink. Then you avoid something important. Tasks pile up. And you feel even more stressed. To your brain, this feels like the right thing: avoid danger, stay safe, stay in comfort. But it ends up making everything harder. And when your brain is stuck in this loop long enough, it doesn't just impact your habits. It hijacks your decisions. This is why you make choices you regret later. When you're stressed, your brain shuts down long-term thinking and pushes you toward whatever brings quick comfort. That's why you avoid tough conversations, delay responsibilities, or stay stuck in situations that don't help you grow. Think about a moment when you had a simple task to do, but your brain told you to do it later, even though doing it now would reduce stress. Stress tricks your mind into thinking the easier path is the safer one. But here's the dangerous part: when this goes on long enough, your brain doesn't just change how you decide. It changes how you see yourself. This one hits hard. When stress becomes chronic, your brain begins forming a new, default identity. You might start seeing yourself as someone who's always overwhelmed, someone who can't handle pressure, someone who's always behind. But this isn't your true personality. It's your brain adapting to survive. Maybe there was a time you felt confident and sure of yourself. But after months of stress, you catch yourself thinking, "I'm just an anxious person." That identity shift feels real because your brain rewires around your experiences. But here's the hopeful truth: identity shifts are reversible. And there's one habit, simple but overlooked, that begins that reversal. This is the part your brain desperately needs. The most underrated anti-stress habit is mental rest. Not scrolling. Not watching something. Not distracting yourself. Actual rest, moments where your mind gets silence and space to process life. When your brain gets stillness, your amygdala calms down, cortisol drops, and your thinking clears. Something as simple as a 10-minute walk without your phone can reduce stress chemicals more than an hour of scrolling ever could. But most people never try it because stress tricks the brain into seeking stimulation. Silence feels uncomfortable at first. But that silence is exactly what repairs your mind long term. Before we continue, I want to ask you something meaningful. When you get stressed, what's the first thing your brain tells you to do? Do you avoid things? Do you overthink? Do you grab your phone to distract yourself? Share it in the comments. Your answer might help someone else feel less alone. Stress doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you. It's working with tools designed thousands of years ago, in a world where danger was everywhere. Earlier, we talked about the stress loop, that cycle your brain falls into. Here's the part we held until now: you can break the loop, but not by fighting stress. You break it by understanding it. When you give your mind rest, when you challenge one small fearful thought, or when you take a single uncomfortable step forward, you're teaching your brain a new identity, one that doesn't panic by default. If you want more psychology-backed videos that help you understand your mind and improve your life, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. And remember this: your brain is powerful, but it becomes unstoppable when you learn how it works.